Some places on Earth look completely normal. Mountains, forests, oceans, and quiet roads. But in certain locations around the world, people have disappeared under strange and unexplained circumstances. No witnesses, no evidence, no clear answers. In this video, you will discover 8 places on Earth where people mysteriously disappear and where many cases remain unsolved to this day. Fact number 1. Aokigahara Forest, Japan. At the base of Mount Fuji lies Aokigahara Forest, one of the most mysterious forests in the world. Because of the dense trees and volcanic rock beneath the ground, GPS signals and compasses often behave strangely. The forest is also unusually quiet. The thick vegetation blocks the wind and absorbs sound, creating an eerie silence. Over the years, many people have disappeared here. Search teams frequently enter the forest to look for missing individuals, yet some are never found. The strangest detail is that rescuers sometimes discover personal belongings such as cameras, tents, backpacks, and even cars. Everything is still there except the people who own them. Fact number 2. The Bermuda Triangle. The Bermuda Triangle is one of the most famous mystery zones in the world. It is located between Florida, Bermuda, and Puerto Rico. Over the past century, numerous ships and aircraft have disappeared in this region. One of the most famous incidents occurred in 1945 when 5 U.S. Navy planes took off for a routine training mission. During the flight, the pilots reported that their compasses were malfunctioning and that the ocean below looked unusual. Soon after, all contact was lost. Despite an extensive search operation, no wreckage or bodies were ever found. The story became even stranger when a rescue plane sent to search for them also disappeared shortly after takeoff. Fact number 3. Dyatlov Pass, Russia. In 1959, a group of 9 experienced hikers set out on an expedition in the Ural Mountains. They camped on a snowy mountain slope during the night. Something terrifying happened while they were sleeping. Investigators later found that the tent had been cut open from the inside, as if the hikers had rushed to escape. They fled into the freezing night without proper clothing or shoes. Their bodies were later discovered scattered across the area. Some died from hypothermia, but others had severe injuries, including fractured ribs and skull damage. Strangely, there were no signs of a struggle. Even more puzzling, traces of radiation were found on some of their clothes. Fact number 4. The Bennington Triangle, USA. In the state of Vermont, there is a region known as the Bennington Triangle. During the mid-20th century, several mysterious disappearances occurred here. People vanished while hiking, walking along roads, or even near their homes. One of the strangest cases involved a man who was walking slightly ahead of his friends along a forest trail. They lost sight of him for only a few seconds. When they reached the spot where he should have been, he was simply gone. No footprints, no signs of a struggle, and no clues explaining what happened. Search teams combed the forest for weeks, but the man was never found. Fact number 5. Lake Anjikuni Village Mystery, Canada. In 1930, a Canadian fur trapper named Joe LaBelle arrived at a small village near Lake Anjikuni. He had visited this settlement before and knew that dozens of people lived there, but when he arrived, the village was completely empty. Houses were still standing, food was left on tables, and fires in the stoves had not fully burned out. Yet every single resident had vanished. Authorities investigated the case, but found no clear explanation. Perhaps the most disturbing detail was that sled dogs were discovered tied up and starved. It appeared that the entire community had disappeared suddenly and never returned. Fact number 6. Overtown Bridge, Scotland. Overtown Bridge in Scotland has become famous for a series of strange and disturbing incidents. Since the 1950s, dozens of dogs have unexpectedly jumped from the bridge into the deep gorge below. Many of them did not survive the fall. Scientists attempted to explain the phenomenon by suggesting that animals might be reacting to scents from wildlife below the bridge. However, experiments did not fully confirm this theory. What makes the mystery even stranger is that most of the jumps occur from almost the exact same location on the bridge. Fact number 7. Nahanni Valley, Canada. Deep in the wilderness of northern Canada lies the remote Nahanni Valley. This place is sometimes called the Valley of Headless Man. The name comes from several disturbing discoveries made during the early 20th century. Prospectors searching for gold entered the valley, but later their bodies were found under unusual circumstances. In some cases, the victims were missing their heads. These stories quickly spread among explorers and travelers. Even today, despite its stunning natural beauty, the valley is considered by many to be one of the most mysterious and dangerous places in North America. Fact number 8. The Michigan Triangle. In Lake Michigan, there is an area sometimes called the Michigan Triangle. Similar to the Bermuda Triangle, this region has been linked to several unexplained disappearances of ships and aircraft. One of the strangest cases happened in 1937 aboard a cargo ship. The ship's captain told the crew he was going to rest in his cabin before reaching port. Hours later, when the crew went to wake him, he was gone. The cabin door was still locked from the inside, and the ship had remained on a steady course the entire time. No one ever discovered how the captain disappeared.